What's tonight for? If this team get beat, we in the final four.
He's a poor man LeBron, bro, when it comes to trades. It's like you guys look at, KD went to Golden
down 3 games, it's a quick sweep.
Not cap if you want to. Cap if you want to. Cap if you want to.
You know what's in me.
When I said that they let James Harden do the same thing and let Kevin Durant do the same thing, and they're essentially letting James Harden do the same thing again.
It'll cause a quick freeze.
I said Kevin Durant should have took a 50-50 blame, and Westbrook should have took a 50-50 blame too.
MJ fade away with the eyes closed.
Bust motherfucking down. You feel me? Back on this beautiful ass Monday. I finally get to say that shit again. Back in the building with the boys. What's up, fellas?
What up, though?
Oh, I was about to say where the fellas at. They're not there. You see them, but they're not there. We got this next game in the background. We get to the games in a second. But with the playoffs here, we got to have the conversation, right? Every year, somebody's narrative is going to get spun on somebody. So we're here to talk legacies. It's going to be a good conversation. Because I got a legacy I don't think these guys going to think about. But we're going to see. Right? Now, there's a multitudes of ways we can look at legacy, right? How a person builds their legacy in the NBA. Right? Some players that you might hear tonight are going to be young players. It's going to be some young players in there that's just building their legacy. Maybe I was just talking a little bit off camera. We're going to try to decipher how important it is, right? The blemishes, the success, how long, who you did it with, because those things go into your legacy. So that's why I'm saying this for a reason, because I want these guys' minds to start stirring. You feel me? Because I'm going to pose the question to Boo. What is the most important thing about a player's legacy?
That varies, honestly. The most important thing probably should be sustained greatness, right? How long you did it, right? That's like, no matter if you was a role player either, right? Whatever you were, how long did you do it and how impactful were you at it? So for me, the most important thing a player could do, and when I'm talking about a player, I'm talking about obviously like a guy that's trying to be a pantheon, not just a regular guy or a role player. He's trying to be one of the best of all time. And in order to be one of the best of all time, I think you need to identify yourself as the best player on the team to win a championship. That is like the most important. And when I say be the best player, I don't mean it can't be no debate, right? Can't be like, well, this other guy put up X, Y, and Z. Like, it needs to be clear cut that you was the number one option on a championship winning team. Now, you got some people that'll be like, but that's a team accomplishment. That's why I'm saying the best player on that team. Because granted, it is a team accomplishment, but it still matters if I was the reason why we got this title. Like, if I'm the main reason why we won, that has to matter. And out of all sports, again, basketball, your best player can really dictate the game more than any other sport. I might be the best quarterback in the NFL, but I might have a shitty line. Or I might be the best corner in the game, but I got a terrible D line. No pressures getting on the quarterback. Like all these other sports, baseball, I might be the baddest motherfucker. Barry Bonds never won a World Series. Because these things can happen in these other sports. But if you truly a pantheon in basketball, bro, you're going to win the title, bro. If you're a pantheon and I put you around and I put you in a situation where you got decent role players around you and a decent number two, you're probably going to win if you're truly a pantheon. Just history shows that. Where in all the other sports, you just don't see that. So again, for me, the most important thing a player can do would be win a title as the clear-cut number one option.
Mulich?
Yeah,
Same
honestly,
question.
That's more where my answer was going to, bro. Like, I think in order to really solidify the type of legacy, the type of career that most players come in, or most number one options come in like they want to have, bro. Like, you have to win. You know what I mean? Like, we can sit up here and say, oh, he scored a lot of points and oh, he led his team to the playoffs this year, and but bro, at the end of the day, you got to win, bro. Like, that is the most important thing. Like, when people sit up here and they talk about you and they talk about your history, they talk about your career, it's the first thing they're gonna bring up. W's. They're gonna bring up the wins. They're gonna attribute to the moments, of course, that made your career, your legacy what it was. But ultimately, the main goal is to win. And you have to be able to win on a number one or be that number one option on a winning team in order for people to look at you as such. And it is what it is. Because of course you're gonna have the narratives, you're gonna have the naysayers, the names, right? But at the end of the day, if the main thing is you winning, like, that solidifies that. So I think that's the biggest part for me is winning, bro. You have to win.
Interesting. So I kind of there's kind of two things that happen when the playoffs starts. There are some players that take big hits to their legacy, and there are some players that take small hits to their legacy, right? And those smaller hits would be normally the younger guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, somebody like that. Ja Morant getting blown out yesterday. We'll get to that yesterday. Get to that a little later. Excuse me. But from what these guys were saying about winning, to me, one of the most important things after winning would be how you win, which is just a web off of winning, right? Because the objective is to win championships, right? You be the greatest player of your generation or your time by winning championships, giving your team success, right? Winning championships helps that, right? Giving your team after you give your team success, right? So what comes next after that is how you win, right? When we sit here and we talk about Kobe in 2008 when he wins with Pau Gasol, right? Nobody thought Kobe would win another one when Shaq left in that time. We knew he was hunting. We knew he was going to fight to get there, but did the majority of people really think it was possible that him and Pau Gasol would go and win a championship? I don't think so, right? That's just my opinion, right? I don't think so. So within that, how you get it done matters too. And we see a narrative happening in sports debate today where help hurts you. It's weird because your help hurts you more, right? When it's normal in the time of the help that you have, and it hurts you more, and then it helps you more when you have a bunch of people on your team that do the same thing. Like, so it's like, or a bunch of top people in the league on the same team. Like, that shit is your success in debates today. So when we talk about legacy, you feel me? I think we got to decipher and break away from the, oh, this is my favorite player, so I'm going to beef this up and we don't care about, because it all goes into your legacy. So I'm going to kick it back to Mulich. I'm going to ask you this. Mm-hmm. One player in the playoffs right now that you think would have the biggest hit that's not expected to win? Like if they were to get out just the first round, we're not saying to the finals. We're gonna say that for later on. I think this is gonna be a breakdown of sections throughout the weeks of the playoff. But who you think would get the biggest hit? And it's most likely a young player. Who would get the biggest hit to their legacy in a good way if they were to surprise and be the number 1 or number 2 seed?
If they were to surprise and or beat the number 1.
Hey, we did that at the same time. Shut up.
I mean, I think a lot of people are obviously going to be like, the obvious answer is Ja Morant, or the obvious answer is this person, right? But I think that, and I know how a lot of people view Anthony Edwards, but I think he's on my list. And then I'm gonna throw out a crazy one because I know a lot of people are probably not gonna expect it, but the Magic, shit. Starting off with Ant, I know a lot of people have that narrative, and they see the gumph, they see the enthusiasm, they see the player that is Anthony Edwards, and a lot of people will feel like he already arrived, but when you come up short against Luka Doncic, when you come up short against the Mavs, or when you come up short against the Nuggets, these are players that are expected to take their teams to the next level, right? Ant coming in as a young superstar isn't necessarily expected to take his team to that level yet, but I think if he does end up taking out a LeBron, a Luka, JJ Redick-led team, then he's going to be looked at in a different light, especially I know that, the Lakers aren't the pinnacle of the championship, but if you're looking at the narrative, then of course, Ant-Man beats LeBron, beats Luka. Of course, he's going to be looked at in a different light, especially if he goes on to have a further playoff, push than another young star, say like a Ja Morant. But I think the more interesting one for me is the Orlando-Boston, right? Now, everybody expects Boston to have this series sold up, right? And it's the reason why I bring it up, because Boston is defending champs, right? Clear, possibly clear to repeat, right? We have that. We have that energy. We have that understanding. But I think with a lot of people looking at this series, you probably automatically think, oh, well, this is Boston defending champs. They got the play-in Orlando Magic, the guys who's been dealing with injuries. They got them sold up. But what if they don't, right? What if they don't got them sold up? What if Paolo and Franz Wagner and KCP and all of these guys, they start to, play on a different type of level? That takes Paolo's legacy. That takes Franz's legacy. That takes their career to different pinnacles, right? And then last but not least, we were talking about a little bit behind stage, Cade Cunningham, right? Like I said backstage, the name automatically eliminates Detroit, right? People think of Detroit, people hear the Pistons. Most people forgot they even made the playoffs. It was legitimately most Pistons made the playoffs, and they weren't a playing team either. You know what I mean? So just hearing that name, hearing that narrative, everybody's going to automatically write the Pistons off, right? Oh, well, they're going against New York, right? That's an automatic wash. Nah, because what if they do so happen to win, right? What does that say about the Isaiah Stewarts of the world? What does that say about the Cade Cunninghams of the world, right? How does their career then change because they knocked off a powerhouse pinnacle team in New York, right? So I think as far as legacies changing, if these guys were to pull off these ultimate upsets, whether they be seeding upsets or just upsets from players that have established legacies themselves, I think those guys would definitely benefit from it, especially being young and where their careers are currently at.
Go up. Same question to you. You're on mute.
The question was,
who do you think will gain, I guess, the biggest hit to their legacy if they were to pull off a surprise and win and beat a top 1 or 2 seed in the playoffs? What are you laughing
Nothing. My wife having indistinct conversations. Y'all can.
Oh,
You did, boy?
I'm trying to think because you said the top 1 or 2 seed.
Like if they like that's the scenario. It's not. It doesn't have to be a 1 or 2 seed. But who do you think like a young guy that is like if they were to beat like if like Cade Cunningham beating or leading his team, being the guy on his team and beating the Knicks, like who do you think out of Cade, Shea, Ja, who gains that, or somebody else, Donovan Mitchell, who gains the most in your eyes from a surprising win or upset?
Well, I wouldn't. That's why it's when you keep saying surprising, because I don't think nothing the Cavs would really be doing would be like over surprising, right? Like, but I do think when you said Donovan Mitchell, just far as a young player that could kind of like cement his legacy a little bit more. I think a trip to the finals, and I don't necessarily think he has to win, but that would be, based. It still would be based off how he's playing, because a lot of his problems still is he's not playing as well as he was last year from a production standpoint. But that's obviously got to do with the talent on the team and players getting better or whatever. Darius Garland being more consistent this year. So, but I do think a guy like Donovan Mitchell and probably Shea, for me, like if Shea was to somehow win a title this year, he's probably going to be in like some serious different talks. I can hear it now. Like, I'm guaranteeing you people will say he's easily better than Allen Iverson with a ring. Easily. Like, it wouldn't even be a debate. He's 25, 24, some shit like that. He wins a ring, bro. Possibly an MVP to go with the ring. Yeah, he's over Allen Iverson. Easily. There's nothing to talk about. Nothing. So, yeah. A guy like Donovan Mitchell, if he was to win a ring in a decent type of fashion too, like, they would probably say he's a top 10 shooting guard ever.
Top 10.
Yeah, that's a good. I would say right now he's nowhere near the top 10, but I guarantee you with that ring, yeah, he's going to be over guys like, especially if he wins the Finals MVP, he's going to go immediately over guys like Ray Allen. Immediately.
No matter that. So I'm gonna say, right, I like the shade, Alexander. I get the finals thing, but I'm thinking more of like Mulich was saying, excuse me, Cade Cunningham, a young player that's still got a lot to prove, still got a lot of season behind him. I'm not talking about just winning the finals. Like, if they beat the Knicks, that's going to be, fans pushing, talking about his legacy changes a little bit. But I'm gonna say this, you guys. I know it's not because he wears green. All right, it's not because he wears green, but I just see a future for PP. You feel me? I see a future for Pum Pum. You feel me? Because that's what he does. You feel me?
Hey, he nominated. He's a finalist for 6 Man, right?
Like, I think so.
Yeah, I believe he's a finalist for 6 Man. My boy Peyton been putting in that work, man.
Peyton, and I'm not saying, and this is what I mean by what Buab, you said it, like, even if you're a role player, your legacy matters, right? Your consistency matters, right? I think Peyton Pritchard showing his growth and growing, and then coming into this new offense with Musala, or however you pronounce his name. I don't know if I said that right. He's showing something to me that if he was to continue to do like what he was doing in yesterday's game, just building up that bench and keeping that energy going, hitting those tough shots and those threes and playing his ball, like his legacy grows a little bit to where I think in what Mulich said earlier was how it changes the course of their careers. I think Peyton Pritchard stays on Boston and he probably works his way into a starting role once the Drew Holidays is gone and the Whites are gone, because he is a very young player. So that's what I meant by who you think will get a bigger. I think Peyton Pritchard, because I can see Peyton Pritchard in a starting offense with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and it working out, because it's a triple threat. Like, you still got to pay attention to this short motherfucker. Like, it's not just like, all right, we're gonna he could do some shit out there, right? Especially if he gets a lot more consistent. I'm not saying he leaps anybody that's better than him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying his legacy and his career changes with another, tough battle and in the playoffs and helping his team win another championship, especially if he gets 6th man of the year. Feel me? But I want to get to the nitty gritty. Who takes the biggest hit if they lose it? LeBron James, Luka, who takes it? Jalen, KD, well, KD not even there, dang. Joker, Westbrook. You feel me? We got Jimmy Butler. We got Steph Curry. Throw Draymond Green in that bitch. Didn't Klay Thompson make the playoffs? No, right? Dallas didn't make it, did they? No, they got bounced in that second game, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, who you got, boy? Who takes the biggest legacy hit if they lose the 2025 playoff championships, wherever they make it to?
I mean, for me, it's probably going to be LeBron.
LeBron James.
You know what? I'm gonna take that back.
Hold on, I can't take it back. I don't got a take back button.
I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna say it's still LeBron. I'm gonna say it's like a 1A, 1B for me. I'm gonna say it's LeBron, and then I'm gonna say it's Kawhi.
2-point game. Kawhi was mine, and I told myself before the show, when you end the question, say mine's is Kawhi, but I'll explain it after y'all go, so y'all niggas couldn't say Kawhi. But go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be more Kawhi though than LeBron, because clearly LeBron is viewed as the better player, obviously, and all-time great pantheon for sure. But I just think for me, I think the Clippers was a dark horse. I don't think nobody was saying, oh, the Clippers should be doing X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. I don't think nobody truly felt that way, right? I think most people started paying attention to the Clippers like the reality now, you know what I'm saying? Like, once the playoffs started, right? Like, oh, Clippers been on the hot streak, blah, blah, blah. But I gotta say LeBron, and it's for me, and everybody gonna say it's personal and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. For me, it's the reality of you cannot have it both ways. And this mostly goes out to these LeBron fans. If he was to lose in the first round with the Luka Doncic, with the, as you Laker fans call them, AR-15, this is bad, bro. It's bad, bro. Like, the whole year started with the basically the drafting of Bronny James Jr. We watched this shit play out. We watched them give Anthony Davis, who was in most people's minds going to be the star of the future for the Lakers, get the headshot. Boom. You out of here. Luka Doncic, insert you. Luka Doncic, by most people, is perceived to be a top 3 or 5 player in the game right now. It is some people that believe LeBron James. is still a top 5 player in this league.
19 points. I got you. Top 5 in this right there.
So my whole thing is, I don't personally feel LeBron is a top 5 player. I feel like LeBron is he can still be considered top 10. I'm not mad at that, and I'm not saying like that's not a really good player, because if you're still like a top 10 player in this league, no matter what your age is, that's still a very good thing. But the last couple of years, you just got to tell the truth. Like, LeBron really isn't the same player anymore. Like, he's still a very good player, a great player. But it's almost, again, being a disservice to him to just pretend that he's still the same player. This is what I mean when I say you can't have it both ways. I rank players accordingly. I think LeBron James is a top 15 player comfortably. But at the end of the day, it is levels to this shit. When you put a top 15 player and a top 5 player together, you don't expect them to lose in the first round. It's just the reality, bro. Like, there is no – most people would have told you, if I ask you about Rudy Gobert, they're going to say he trash. If I ask you about Julius Randle, you're going to say he trash. If I ask you about Anthony Edwards, you might say he on his way, but this ain't his time right now. Why should the Timberwolves win this series is my real question to you people there. Why do they even have a chance if the starting center's trash, the starting power forward's trash, your start player is not ready? I'm just, for me, LeBron and Luka cannot lose this series, bro. There is no excuse for this shit. They lose this series, it's bad, bro. It is terrible, bro.
Mulich, same question to you. You take the biggest shit on that Lego street.
I think I'm with y'all, because when Troy said what he said about the Kawhi thing, I said the Kawhi thing, I was thinking the same thing, right? Clippers, they are fully healthy towards the end of the season. They're starting to ball. Everything's starting to click. Kawhi's healthy. James Harden's healthy. They're all balling, right? Them losing to a Denver Nuggets team obviously wouldn't be a good look. But like Buop said, they really didn't start to get hot. People didn't start to pay attention till more later on into the season, so it wouldn't really hit the same, especially coming from a team like the Nuggets. Yes, we understand they lost their head coach, but it's still a really formidable team. They still have Aaron Gordon. They still have MPJ. They still have Jamal Murray. And, of course, they still got Nikola Jokic. So any team with those guys, of course, they're still going to be formidable. So if the Clippers do end up losing to a team like the Nuggets, they wouldn't take too much of a hit on their legacy. I also see where Buop's coming from, where it comes from, all right, well, outside of Ant-Man, who we're really looking at on the T-Wolves, right? Like, if we're being completely honest, right? Julius Randle's inconsistent. Nobody's really worried about Rudy Gobert, and somebody else give me another name that we should be worried about on their team.
Nobody.
There you go.
Nobody. Not Naz Reid, even though he was a 6th man of the year candidate. Fuck him.
We love all of that. DiVincenzo, feisty, scrappy play. We love all of that. Nobody's worried about them fellas over there. They don't worry about them guys. So I definitely understand where Buop's coming from. Like, LeBron, Luka, nigga, y'all can't lose that series, bro. Like, that's unacceptable. Like, that's literally, we're looking at that like we're looking at the Knicks Detroit series, right? Jalen Brunson, Cat, Miles, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. That team against this young Detroit. Come on, bro. Y'all not losing there. We're not supposed to lose that series. Y'all did not. That's how we're looking at the Knicks or the Lakers and T-Wolves right now. Like, come on, y'all. For real, what we doing? Y'all better not lose that series. Ain't no way. But for me personally, I'm gonna go Giannis. I'm gonna say Giannis. Pacers are up 1-0 right now. If you watch that game, it really seemed like, now I'm not saying that with the insertion of Dame that this series doesn't turn, but it's clear that the Bucks they don't have it. And I'm not too sure what it is because I don't know if Dame comes back that he brings that it, but they don't have it. And I think when it comes to Giannis and his legacy and how everybody's going to view him, I think if he loses this series, especially not being able to play in the first series, right, or the last year's series in the first round, where they end up losing the series before, the year before, right? 2 series where Giannis has dealt with injuries to where he wasn't there for his team. So now you are there fully healthy, and you do lose, even if you insert Dame. I think that hurts his legacy a lot, especially considering the type of player that everybody views him as. That's gonna hurt him a lot. That's gonna be a really bad look as far as him losing to a Tyrese Halliburton-led Pacers team where he's Defensive Player of the Year, he's a former champion, he has a Bobby Portis, he has a Brook Lopez, he has these guys, he has a Kyle Kuzma, right? Even if you insert Dame and they lose, that's not a good look for Giannis. For me personally, I'm going Giannis.
And I ain't mad at that because I didn't finish touching on I said Kawhi too because again this is just you just look at game 1 how they had like a 15-17 point lead in that game. Like this is like starting to be like, okay, you can't keep blaming Paul George for this shit now, Kawhi. You're becoming the center of why these teams coming back. Like and you supposed to be known as this elite 2-way defender. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are teams with you having these able to come back so easily? Like, it's crazy. And granted, Jokic is one of the all-time greats, but still, it's. By the way, shout out to Russell Westbrook too, because like that was a hell of a. You know what I'm saying? He just don't get enough credit. The credit, the energy never matches, you know what I mean, with Westbrook. And that's the only thing I hate about his career for real. We penalized the man, my big brother.
What's up, man?
What to do?
How you feeling?
Hey, I'm good. You got to excuse my tardiness. You know what I'm saying? Pardon the body. You got to excuse my tardiness. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing we not used to.
Now I was sitting up watching the game, man. I was watching that Knicks game and didn't even see the text. So my bad.
Well, I was just trying to get Westbrook his little flowers because we talking about like which players' legacy would take the most gain or hit in these playoffs.
Okay.
And I said I personally feel like LeBron and Kawhi to me could take the most hit. And Moose said Giannis.
I'm gonna say Jason Tatum. I'm gonna say Jason Tatum. I think that if Jason Tatum, for whatever reason, no matter what he fair or unfair, you know, without giving a real opinion, but if they don't win the championship this year, he starts to fade as one of the guys who can possibly win an MVP. I don't even know that he'll win an MVP going forward because I don't know if you can play much better than he's playing right now. Talking about a dude that's 25 plus, you know, 7 rebounds or something like that, a handful of assists, and his team won 60 games, and he's not even being mentioned in that round. If they get back and he doesn't, because they're gonna get close to being back, but if they lose to Cleveland, they meet Cleveland and lose, it's bad on him. If they meet Oklahoma City, it's awful on him.
Interesting. I said Giannis, me personally. I understood where the boo-up came from with Kawhi and LeBron, but I said Giannis being unavailable for the past few series, few playoff series. And then
doing the boo-up.
Froze up.
Yeah, I think he did freeze up.
He just dropped out and got his GED.
But yeah, I thought that's an interesting take though. I thought about Jason Tatum, but I'm just like, don't think not necessarily yet. I don't know.
I mean, I respect it because Tatum, like he said, though, for the most part, Tatum is playing as good as one could play for the most part, right?
True.
Like, he really is. Like, he's just so happen to be playing in a league where you got Jokic averaging, you know what I'm saying, this 30-point triple-double on the efficiency that he's doing it at. Not to mention guys like Shea having this scoring, you know what I'm saying, surge that he's having. So I think with the Jason Tatum thing, like, hypothetically, if they don't win it, he's already taken like a little scrutiny just because of how he played last year to people. And I, for the most part, me personally, I'm not going to say he couldn't play better, but I will say he just didn't play up to the standards that people have for these number one options. Nah, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I think it's him not separating himself enough from Jaylen Brown. It's the continued argument that still I don't agree with it, but it's there. Like when you're not the number one guy on your team, people I'm not saying Tatum's not the number one guy. I'm saying, like, when people just think for a second that Jaylen Brown is on his level, that creates that for him. You know what I mean? Like, it just creates that narrative that he's not as good as these other top number one options. So, and then for him not to win it again, because most people do believe Boston has the most complete team in basketball. And like for him not to win it, it probably will be just a nasty narrative around his name.
Yeah.
Ron, did you want to finish what you were saying?
Yeah, let me apologize to your fan base, man, because I promise you I'm more professional than to let my phone die while it's in the
Oh, you should
while
have
it's in
seen
the
your
light
face.
break.
You should have seen your face and how it stopped. I don't think the fans mad at all.
Man, gee, goodness gracious, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to get it together. You know what I'm saying? But no, I was just saying that. I mean, it was just what Wap was saying. I think that there is a, sometimes there are guys who do less and get more, and then sometimes there's guys who do more, and then we still look at them as less. The guys, in my opinion, I'm gonna be quite honest and frank. Yeah, it's crazy, Wap. I was watching Nico's interview today on my laptop while watching the game, which is how I ended up missing your text.
Okay.
And this thing about Luka, I don't know where everybody is from, here that's with you, but I know that you from the crib, you from Chicago. Defense is a premium. That's something that we do no matter what, right? You cannot play at all, but you gonna defend. All of the guys that come out of here, with the exception of a few, are defensive players first. I was one of those. I understand what he did. I'm not saying I would have traded Luka, but I understand what he did when he traded Luka. I understand why he traded Luka. And then talking to some people in there, I understand that too. He wouldn't go out his lunch with a Uzi. Like it was the craziest thing, you know what I'm saying, to watch him go out there defensively and be awful, like give no, but then turn around and want to score 30 on the other side. I'm saying that to say that Luka is one of the guys that has been given more leeway. You know what I'm saying? And people, oh man, he's gonna be this and he's gonna be, he's one of the greatest players, blah, 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 blah. Jason Tatum has done more than him. And he's looked at as less than him. You see what I'm saying? Like, like from a team perspective, he's been to the finals twice, won once. This guy's been to the finals one time, and got beat by Jason Tatum, ironically. You know what I'm saying? So Paul George comes to mind as another one of those guys. I love PG, but there hasn't been enough work for people to put him in that space that they be putting him in. So how could you not put Jason Tatum in that space? You know what I'm saying? Like, Jason Tatum has won a championship, disrespected in the way where they put him on the national team, and then he don't even play on the national team. Now, it's hard to beat out a guy who gets in the game named KD. He gets in the game and he goes 9 for 9 in his first 9 shot attempts. You know what I'm saying? But the way that he's being handled over the course of his career, to me, is just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that it's right or it's wrong, but we turn around and we'll glorify Joel Embiid, another guy who I love. We'll give him all of the flowers. We'll show him all of the love. But come on, man, an MVP, you know what I'm saying? And he led the league in scoring. But come on, man. Boy done played 50% of the allotted games that he could have possibly played in, and he out again this year. So Jason Tatum for me, I don't want to get too preachy, but Jason Tatum for me is one of those guys where you like, come on, man, what the fuck, man? Like at some point, the world got to show him a little bit more love, but at the same time, he got to make sure that he's showing up on a nightly basis and not allowing Jaylen Brown to outshine him at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got to make sure that, he ain't outshined in the finals, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is they're playing in. Well, just my thoughts on that.
I'm not mad at the take. I'm a Boston fan. I'm not mad at the take. I don't think I agree with the amount that he would take the hit itself.
Okay.
Because of what you said, and that's the placement of where fans place him already.
Okay. Okay.
He's not on that top tier to them guys. So to them, it's like, all right, Jason Tatum is Jason Tatum. Like, oh, he's never gonna separate himself from Brown. He needs Brown. Brown's always gonna be there. And it's like, that's why I think, and when you say I can respect the reasoning behind it, but just for me, it's why I wouldn't go JT. But I could understand it because he is an elite player, right? Just this year, I forget what analyst, it wasn't an analyst, journalist who came out and said that Jason Tatum is his real face of the league because it's like his body of work and what he's out there doing with Boston. And I could understand it, but to Buwap's point and to your point, that's why I told Buwap at the end of last year, one more time, right? We got to do it one more time because I think if Boston repeats, right, which is one of the hardest things to do in the NBA, right, is to go back and win again with everybody studying you, everybody keening in on those things that you like to do. It becomes harder, right? If he goes back and do it again, then no fan in the world could say anything about him not being in that room with PG and Joel Embiid and the other guys you named. Like, just like Buwap said a little earlier, how if Shea wins a finals and the finals MVP, he just blasts us in front of Allen Iverson. There's got to be some talk around JT blasting in front of people because he won a championship at 25.
Something like that.
And to the Brown thing for me and Buwap, no, I hate this fucking debate between him and Brown. What is wrong with having a good fucking Batman? When having a history has ever been wrong up until the Heat? That it's been wrong with having a good Batman, bro. There's nothing wrong with having a good Batman. Now his Batman might be better than other Batmans, but that's not his fault.
I think we said that wrong.
No, I'm not talking about Robert Horry.
No, I'm saying you're saying like Robin though, like you referring to it,
right? Yeah, like Robin.
Okay, Robin.
Okay,
because when you said Batman, I was like,
he's the
comic books just won't allow.
I said Batman because that's my favorite character. So
no, mine too. I'm fucking with you, mine too.
But Robin.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with having a good Robin, like in the purest sense of what you're saying. I'm with you, fam.
It's not my fault. Jaylen Brown get down dirty. It's not my fault. When I'm supposed to tell him slow it down. Just let me do my thing. Nah, I think that's the special thing about Boston and why, even if I'm not a Boston fan, why I can see Boston winning multiple championships in the next, upcoming years is because of those two guys. They like at first, no, they didn't play well together. Maybe there was some, I'm the guy there. No, I'm the guy there. But I think they both settled into their role now. And I think they've shown, especially from them losing to the Warriors and then coming back and getting back there as a young team. He was 23 when he lost, 24 when he lost to the finals. To get back there at 25 and then win it it shows his growth. It shows Brown's growth because Brown could have just been like, nah, nigga, now it's my team. Now it's my time to show you that. But he didn't. He accepted his role. And that's why I kind of hate the debate because the two people that matter the most, they don't care about it anymore. At first they did, now they don't. But us as fans, we still care about it. Boo, I can see you want to say something.
I'm gonna have to just disagree with that because, like, Boston, honestly, since 21, maybe before that, like they have been in this contention to win a ring. Like they put together this team, right? And I still don't think the criticism against Tatum is like always fair, but I do understand why it's there. Again, you have to separate yourself. This is just the rules of the Pantheon. It's just what it is. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's just what it is.
Right.
So
it has to be a distinction.
But what happens when your second guy that got drafted before you, right? He ain't the first guy, right? This guy got drafted before you. He's not the number one guy. He's the number two guy to you now, right? What happens when your number two guy is just that damn good? Do I not want him to succeed? It's not. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. It's hard to give Jason Tatum an MVP because of the Robin that's next to him. It's like, yo, bro, you both can score 30 every given night and just fuck everybody up. Like, this is what y'all could do, right? But were we saying the same thing when, KD was with Steph?
They were though. Kind of were though.
I mean, yeah, we were saying the same thing.
Because I'm seeing it a little bit now on Facebook. People bringing up the game.
No. We were saying it then. We were all saying, why the fuck would KD do that?
Right? Why would he go there? Right? But I think once they started playing and people saw how they was just. A lot of people didn't like it. I'm with you. I think the dislike, and what they were doing on the floor together. People knew, like, damn, there's nothing you could do as KD and Steph, bro. This is what they're going to do to you every night. I think it's not the feel of the players, but it's the same thing with JT and Jay Brown. I'm going to go out there and we could give you 30 every night.
But Pete, though, Troy, think about this. KD left, and when he left, the fan base stayed with Steph. And they look at those championships as though they not even – like, they don't even believe that. They was like, man, shit, KD just got those and came. Like, those championships didn't validate KD's career. They didn't validate him. You know what I mean? Like, he making burner accounts. The fan base up there is don't really fuck with him. Like, all of those things happened because he didn't stand on his own, too. He had his own mob when he was in Oklahoma City. Had he won in Oklahoma City, we look at him as a different guy. You see what I'm saying? Like, we look at him as and that's not to say that anything's wrong, but with his career. But the fact remains is that we don't even like. I think we all fuck with his game, and we all think that he's one of the best scorers to ever do it. But people don't look at him like Steph. In this world, Steph is a better basketball player than KD. And I don't know that that's necessarily fair. You know what I'm saying? But people look at him as KD. I mean, as Steph is greater than him. I just don't know that that's it, boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
As a basketball player.
You see what I'm saying? And with that being said, I just think that what has happened over time is that the decision or playing alongside of somebody else, two people averaging 26 points, Kobe and Shaq, two people averaging 27 points. Both of them end up with one MVP over the course of their career, and both of them being in a space where the people who love the Kobe'ites out there who love him say that Shaq wasn't really that good. The people that love Shaq say, man, Kobe could have been anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the shit go. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the shit go. It ain't fair. But shit, you gotta, man, what made Mike was the fact that Scottie Pippen wasn't even close. Grant Hill was nobody. You know what I'm saying? Grant Hill was a nobody. Will Purdue and you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, these are you know what I'm saying? These are Stacey King, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I 100% agree with you that it looks better when the guy isn't next to you. But you said something, I want to go back to OKC, right?
Okay.
We just look at the history of Westbrook's legacy, right? Because we're talking about legacies. Look at the history of Westbrook. If KD wins with Westbrook, right? I think not initially, right? I think everybody's like, damn, they won it. They finally got past it, blah, blah, blah. But But I think as history go on, let's say KD still leaves and goes somewhere else and win championships, but somebody else does not step. I think people start to turn if Westbrook goes and plays with LeBron and plays the same way. I think people still start to turn on Westbrook like, he still played with this guy, so he's not validated here. Because now we're talking about a new brand of fans, right? It's not us, right? And that's what I was going to say to you earlier. It's not us that think that way. Real fans don't think that way. We know what basketball is, and we're able to tell when a guy is better than another guy, not just off of the team success or him winning championships, individual basketball play. So I think at some point down the line, if KD wins with Westbrook, goes somewhere else, wins with somebody else, just the way the league is with everybody playing with everybody, it's bound to happen. Is it Steph? We don't know. But what if he goes to Boston and plays with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? Or what if he goes to Philly and plays with Embiid? Like, what if he goes to the Nuggets and plays with Joker? Like, we don't know. Joker wasn't there, but I'm just throwing out names. Like, it could still happen. And I think fans will still turn on him like, hey, bro, you didn't do it this way. But on the other hand, right, LeBron doesn't get that. He only gets it from Jordan fans. And that's why I stay on Facebook, because like that's the debate. It's like it's always about, and I said this before you got here. They said the most important thing about your legacy is winning. I think one of the most important things about your legacy is how you win. And I think more people are paying attention to how you win now than winning. Because nobody cares about if you win a championship. It's who you won with, right? We always hear argument of, LeBron won this many championships without this person, and he won this many championships without this person. But collectively, if we look at the help that he has had to win those championships, it greatly exceeds, I think, anybody else's help that has multiple championships. You know what I mean? And another statement, how you win, right? I said this before you came to Kobe, right? When he lost Shaq. Nobody thought that Kobe was going to take Powell and they was going to win a championship in 08. I mean, in 10. Was it 10 that they wanted? I think it was 10. 09. Nobody thought that. Nobody thought Kobe was going to win a championship with Powell. So that greatly pushes his legacy forward. And I think that's what makes Kobe so great and why Kobe fans still fight for him. Because it's like, bro, Powell was nice, but he wasn't Shaq. And I go from having the Diesel to having Powell, and it's like,
I don't know about that, Troy. I'm struggling with that because
me too.
If you think back to that time, Powell it was either right before that or during that period of time he had just won the gold medal.
Yeah, he was nice. I'm not taking away from him.
Not only that, but I think what people start to do with that argument is that they start to short Lamar Odom and short Bynum at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? They have the biggest team in the league. You know what I'm saying? They have the biggest team. You know what I'm saying? Lamar Odom spent time as the best player or equally as good as the best player on two different mobs. When he was in Miami, he was the guy. When he was in LA, he was sharing the light with Elton Brand. So he was coming there as he had already spent time as a guy. We're talking about a dude, Lamar is probably like 6'9", almost 6'10". Supreme ball handler, you know what I mean? Like he can play 3, 4, 5. Pau Gasol is all of 7'1", all of it. Like I'm walking around him just by chance. I was playing in Spain. The season had ended for them. He was out there. My season was still going. I see him in the club, man. He walk up on me, bro. I'm like, I'm 6'8". I'm looking up like, God, dog. Like this, I didn't realize how tall he was, man. He is huge. You know what I'm saying? So again, like that team, I get you on. I hear what you're saying.
No, I'm not taking away nothing from the team.
None of those guys are Shaq.
Right, but I'm just talking about Batman and Robin, right? We all know you need a supporting cast, and that's why I didn't say that.
That team was good. That
team was good. It was. But I'm just saying, like when you look at that time, I don't think people thought, hey, even with that good team, that Kobe was going to push back and get back and win it against Boston.
But no, people did. See, why you got to realize they thought that because the expectations was placed on Kobe. People knew, like, okay, yeah, it was some people that was heckling him for sure because, you got Shaq kicked off your team and blah, 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 but you still are a top 3 player. If you don't want to call him the best player in the world, because people struggle with that, even though I think he was, people struggle with saying that, and that's fine. But the reality is, when you separate yourself as a pantheon in this game, he asked for a number 2. Get me some help. He got that help. So now, when you get the help, what he do? He go to the finals and he obviously lose to a great Boston team that year. But we regroup. And some can argue that, you know, Kendrick Perkins got hurt or whatever, but regardless, once he got that number 2,
Kendrick Perkins ass ain't changing life for shit. I'm tired.
Right, I said Kevin Garnett. It was Kevin Garnett. It was Kevin Garnett who I meant. Kevin Garnett.
I'm tired of that nigga too, man. I'm tired of him. And I'm being funny when I'm saying that. But again, like homie is, you know, he be firing shots at everybody. Like he be acting like he
should have got locked up with Glenn Baby Davis.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like we knew Big Baby more than we knew him.
But I get you. They did have a nice team, but I do get that some people were saying it. I can only speak from where I'm from. I'm from Jersey.
I got you.
So at that time, I'm going to tell you.
Where in Jersey you from? Where in Jersey you from?
I'm from Jersey City.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm only going off of what the chatter was around me, right? Growing up in that time, like nobody was really like even Kobe fans was like, yo, I don't know, like we got a decent, but I don't know if we're gonna get back. Right.
But you gotta tell me the team though, like. At that time, like there was no team in the West.
No, I don't think maybe the Spurs.
Maybe the Spurs, and that's respectable. But Kobe dismantled the Spurs in 2008. Like he dismantled them boys. So it was kind of like the Spurs ain't really a problem right now. And this just keep in mind they got Pau Gasol at the trade deadline. So this not even a real season. Nothing.
That's a fact. That's a great point.
Kobe destroyed them because this is the reality. If you're a Pantheon and you ask for help, Kobe was pleading for help. He was going to get ready and leave LA. He was coming to Chicago just to play with Luol Deng. And I love Luol. I'm not saying that like that's, but the reality is,
Mr. Moneybag.
What to me, what happens in the league with a lot of players is that some players be out of position, right? They be out of their roles. Guys be really number 3s, but masquerading as number 2s in the league. They should be a number 3, but they're playing a number 2 position, like kind of what Lamar Odom was doing for them first couple of years with Kobe there. Really not a number 2. But when Pau Gasol come there, now he's a very good number 3.
Right.
Right. So what happens is Pau Gasol was playing a number 1 in Memphis for all those years, and he's not a number 1. Clearly, went to the playoffs 3 times in Memphis, didn't win a playoff game because he's not a number 1. He's a number 2. And when you pair him with the Pantheon, you see what happens. 3 straight finals, 2 back-to-back titles. So again, a guy like Kobe, to me, ain't no way you can say like he wasn't expected to win. He was absolutely expected to win in 2008.
Oh no, I'm not saying he didn't have pressure on him, but I just know from, like I said, from my end, I know people around me who didn't think with Shaq being gone, because remember Shaq won that title too before Kobe got another one. Right. You feel me? So that took a hit too on his legacy. Talking about legacy, it was like, oh, you kicked Shaq off your team, and now Shaq went and won a title with Wade. You feel me? So that took a hit on Kobe too. That's why I think he had a lot of expectation on him, because now he's not even chasing getting to a finals. He's chasing Shaq, right? Because I got to get more rings than him. He can't finish his career with more rings than me. And Kobe basically said that I wasn't going to let him finish his career with more rings than me. I had to get my get back, right? So it's like, yeah, that expectation is there, but just because the expectation is there doesn't mean it always happens.
But you're talking about like a personal vendetta with Kobe and within himself, right?
Oh, that's partly it. That's partly, and then the other part is
like what you're talking about is scrutiny to me. Like, was Kobe scrutinized? For sure.
100%.
But the expectations that they had of Kobe Bryant once he got Pau Gasol were fair. He should have been expected to win the title because he's that good of a player at that time. It wouldn't make no sense for people to be like, we give you Pau Gasol, who most people, if you really know basketball, not to say he was like a top 10, top 15 player, but he was a really good basketball player.
Yeah, 100%.
When you give him to Kobe Bryant, obviously they should do something, and more than something. They should probably go to the finals. That's the reality. Those are the expectations when you truly are one of those type of dudes. It's just what it is. It ain't always fair, but it is what it is.
100%.
Yeah. And speaking from somebody who grew up amongst Kobe fans. It didn't matter who they added. They expected all you heard was because we had Kobe, right? Because we got Kobe, right? Like it doesn't matter. Like they had one of the biggest teams in the league, and he was a big reason as to why Shaq left. But to Kobe fans, you couldn't tell them shit. You can't tell them shit. Not a damn thing. No, we expect to win because nigga, we got Kobe to being Bryant. You know what I mean? And then they add Powell, and everything went from being worried to, oh no, we're not worried about shit, but we got this. We in the bag. Trust me. Like they went to talking that big shit especially after they started sweating a little bit when it came to Shaq winning in Miami with D Wade, but when Kobe acquired Powell, bro,
He acquired.
That shit, them expectations was shot through the fucking roof. Everybody expected Kobe to win and win big, honestly. Because
not me. Not me, not against my team. So
but another thing
maybe that's where I'm speaking from, but
I mean that's fine if you want to say like Boston was the team to beat them if anything.
Growing up in California amongst Kobe fans and hearing
I didn't have many Kobe.
Laker, Kobe my whole fucking life.
God.
But that's valid though to think Boston out of any team in 08 could have had their number for sure.
Honestly.
That team was put together to win the title, that 08 Boston
100%.
team. So it makes sense. But I'm saying like relative to the league, nobody thought Utah? Who you thought was gonna beat Kobe now? Like in the West?
No, I don't think nobody beats him in the West. I just wasn't thinking that, I think we would get another one, especially with the way that, like you said, that team was built. But Moolish, to your point about Kobe and whoever listen, I was the same way when Ray Allen left. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, we still gonna beat him. Like we can still do it because we delusional. As fans, we're delusional, bro. It's just what it is. I put expectations on the truth that wasn't fair to him as a fan. But it I get it. Like Kobe was especially because of the Shaq thing, and that just was on my end and what I was seeing from here. It was like because Shaq went and won one, a lot of people here put a lot of pressure on fans, put a lot of pressure on him to go get one because all right, now Shaq got one up on you. It wasn't so much, because he's Kobe or because it is, because still the sentiment of what people feel now about Kobe is probably what I was hearing is he was the backup. Shaq was the lead guy. He was the second guy. And however you want to split it, I think if it's two equal guys you look at some points, one of them might have played better than the other. But I think just like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they both could go for 30 any fucking night. And that's a joy to have on your team. So for me, when we talk about legacy and we look at a guy like Kobe Bryant and what he's been through, right? And then what he gained, what he's lost, and then what he had to regain to get back to winning championships. I'll take that legacy and that career over another guy that people like to put in their top one spot of all greatest of all time. That's just me. The legacy matters to me.
But the thing
wait.
I'm talking about LeBron.
Wow.
Okay. Brown and Tatum.
You said what?
I was saying the thing about Brown and Tatum, the problem with them that differentiates from like a Kobe and a Shaq and a Jordan and a Mike. Shaq established himself in the league, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like before Kobe was ever in the league, right? Where Tatum and Brown kind of blossomed together. We watched this movie together.
Mm-hmm.
It was times where, like about 2-3 years ago, where they were still kind of on the same level. Where with Kobe and Shaq, it was kind of like they was kind of waiting on Kobe's arrival. Same thing with Jordan, with Pippen. He was waiting on Pippen's arrival. Like, and once that happened, it still was established that Shaq was the guy, Kobe was the number 2 or whatever. But Kobe obviously kind of exceeded those number 2 expectations, mirroring number 1 option type numbers. And some could argue Scotty to a degree was kind of doing that, but I still think Scotty never ever looked like the number 1 with Jordan. With
not
Bryant,
even when Jordan wasn't there.
Especially with these Eastern Conference awards and things of that nature, like Brown winning these type of awards and winning the Finals MVP, those things hurt.
I agree there.
Simply hurt Tatum. It's not fair, but it is fair. Because it's like Go ahead.
Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Well, I thought you were done talking. Go ahead.
It's just the measure that we use for these pantheons. So it's like I can't. As bad as I want to put Tatum in certain conversations, he got to earn for me to put him in those conversations. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
I think the thing that Boston has done, though, I think that is very, very unique is the fact that they built a team that has so much firepower on top of that. So when they didn't win the championship, if you look at the order of events, they go out and they add Porzingis, who is somebody that I call a super forward. So Troy, I got these things, and Moo, I got these things that are the players that I call super forwards. So those include Chet, Wemby, Porzingis, and Bobo. These are 4 players that the way that they're built and what they do on the basketball floor expands like 4 positions.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people that can really guard them are the other people that are in that group. And I forgot one, Mobley. Did I say Mobley or no? Mobley's in that same space. Okay, so Mobley's in that same space. Porzingis is the first iteration of that. You know what I mean? Like he's the first. He's the 1.0 version of those guys. But low key, every time he see Chet, he tears jersey off of him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he wanted to be known that he's better than those dudes. He a little bit feisty, a little bit tougher. He from European cat. But then what Boston does for him is that they, instead of trying to get him involved or say, we're gonna get him involved early in the basketball game. He's just part of what it is they do offensively. He's just part of it. It ain't, you know what I mean? He's 19.5 points a game off the top of my head, which is insane for a group that has 2 other guys that are averaging 25 points. You know what I'm saying? I believe one is at 26 and the other one is at 24 or something. It's something along those lines. But you add, after all of what I just said, you add 2 other guys to that mob that made second team all defense. And low key, Derek White is a lot better than what people give him credit for. The boy that went for 40 multiple times this season. Every time you put Holiday on a team, they win a championship. So again, like if you looking at that,
True.
you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the composition of the team, I don't know necessarily that he's doing anything wrong other than the team just keeps getting better and better around him. Now you add Peyton Pritchard to that group. You know what I mean? Another guy that has scored 40. He scored 40. Yeah, dude. I mean, I was arguing with somebody on Clubhouse, and they was trying to tell me that you can just add what's your man? Darius Garland. Shout out to Vanderbilt University, man. When I found out that he went to Vanderbilt, I was like, oh man, somebody around here could think good. At least they told him to go to school. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, like homie is on some in his situation, he's a killer. But I don't think that you can take him out of that Cleveland situation and put him on that Boston team and he be the same player. He's not going to be the same guy, you know what I'm saying, as he is in Cleveland, because again, he's just not built the same way. So I'm saying that to say that group, man, that Boston group is really good, man. They're really good. It's going to be nice where it's going to be nice where they can't score or they miss a bunch of threes, but man, on the nights where they own, dog, they might score 150 points on you, 140 points on you. Easy. You know what I'm saying?
Like PP in the back with 26 of those things.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like it's like the way that they're built isn't complimentary to his career. That's all that is. It's just not complimentary to him being a great player, because if he ain't got it going, well, we ain't got to go to you. We gonna go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Just like last night, Derek White, 30 points.
I was just about to say. Derek White last night finished with what, 30? Did he not have?
30,
Yeah. Come on, man. Like, so it's like, dog, the way that they are built is not necessarily, we gotta live and die with them. And that's not a bad thing. But when it comes to his career, I just think that he's just one of those guys, man, that if this season don't go right, man, in terms of his own personal, if they win the championship and Peyton Pritchard ended up getting the fucking MVP, man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or if they give the MVP to fucking Derek White, man, Yeah,
They call
got a
him
problem, boss. You know what I mean?
MVP, nigga.
Yeah,
That be
you
the
know what I'm
name of
saying?
the MVP.
It's gonna be bad.
Yo,
Because
It's
you
gonna
said it's
hurt.
gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad for Tatum if that happens, bro. Because it's gonna be
It
almost
would be bad for anybody if that happens.
agreed.
So
But
I got a question. So in that same sense, Brown getting the MVP over Jason Tatum is and I know you. I don't know if it's equivalent. I'm just asking you guys' opinion. All right, is it equivalent to Iguodala getting the MVP over Steph?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
yes. That I mean that puts Steph in a situation, in my
That put
opinion,
him in a
where
chokehold for a long time.
yeah, man, because against Boston, you see that they gave him the ball every time. They forced him to play point guard, and in my opinion, Steph is not a point guard. I think he's a shooting guard that's just small. There's
I
nothing
agree
wrong
with
with that. You know what I'm saying? So when people say, "Oh man, he's the greatest point guard," no, he's not. No, he's not. He's
I
not
agree
that.
with
I
that.
had to hit him with my young sharp. No, he's not. You know what I'm saying? Like that, he's just not that. But when you look at what he did in that series, he played point guard in that series. They kept the ball in his hands that entire series, and he played well.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So again, like, again, he didn't win an MVP. He got 4 trophies, and of those, he got one Finals MVP out of those. 2 of those went to the person that we was just talking about, in KD. You know what I mean? So, and KD isn't even considered the best player on that mob when they won that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the Bay Area people, man, they done threw KD to the dogs. You know what I'm saying? So, Mood know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like again, like, yeah, it hurts. It definitely hurts,
Definitely
man.
hurts.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I can't take it from in that aspect. I agree with everything you guys said. I just understand it. I understand his situation. Like, it's 2 great players that just blossom, like Buab said. At the same time, you can't do nothing about that. There's nothing you can do. If I'm a team, I'm not going to trade one of them away. I'm going to do my best to try to make it work. And what did they do? They built the team around. Listen, I've been screaming, get rid of Marcus Smart for how fucking long? We get rid of Marcus Smart, and what happens? We're able to add different pieces around that's better in the role.
No, you replaced.
No, it wasn't a no blue. There was
no.
Like, you used to fight me on it all the time. Stop it, bro. It wasn't no brainer.
Time out.
You want to get rid of him? He's
Time out.
He's the glue. Like, come on, Buab. That's all I heard for 2 years.
Time out though, but we don't know who we were replacing Marcus Smart with. That's what I'm saying at the time. At the time, I'm saying yes.
I said Derek White.
Derek White was already on the team.
No, he wasn't. He got traded. No, the summer he got traded there. Me and Mulich was on the show. You could call. Mel was on the show. You can call Mel because Mel said it too. He said, "You said who would you replace him with?" And we was like, a guy like Derek White. We can go pull the tape.
Derek White and Marcus Smart didn't play together. Is what you're telling me?
No, I mean, no, Derek White and Marcus Smart. Well, no, you are right. My bad. No, you said he was still there. My bad. You said he was still there. My bad. You said he was still there. I'm like, what is he? Oh, yeah, you're right. They did play together. But didn't Derek White, what I was meant to say, Derek White did replace him in that aspect when you saying who would replace him. Derek White is who I said. Not that he traded away from him, but Derek White is who I said could replace him.
I'm not disputing that you said that. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is that ultimately the guy they brought in to replace him would be Drew Holiday, right? I mean, because if him and Derek White is on the same team, the guy they brought in.
But Derek White, if I'm not mistaken, Derek White was also coming off the bench at that time that he was on the team.
He possibly was. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, everybody, if you know Derek White, he came from that Spurs background. I knew he was a great role player. You can tell that's a great role player. You already knew he came from Spurs. So he came to the Celtics, and he's still just being what he is, one of the best role players in the NBA. That's what he is.
I mean, you could say Drew replaced him. I more look at it as White replaced him because White, even though White was on the team, because that same role that Marcus Smart was playing, White is playing more of it now.
What I'm gonna say is this, right? I think what Derek White is doing is being what Drew Holiday is kind of still revered as being still, even though Drew Holiday, because I don't think Drew Holiday is that caliber of player no more. Today, he's a role player. And he still, for the most part, even when he was with the Bucks, he was a role player. But today, he's just a more refined role player. He's just more a veteran role player. Can he, at times, still give you flashes? Of course. But for the most part, Derek White is what Drew Holiday used to be for the Bucks, right? He's what he is. Derek White is what Drew Holiday used to be currently, right? for the Celtics right now.
You said it 3 different ways. I got you.
Like I don't know how else to explain it, but it's what I'm saying is that when you get a guy like Drew Holiday over Marcus Smart, what you get again is that poise, that veteran leadership. Where Marcus Smart again, a lot of times was playing out of position for you guys. They had him at the point guard position. He's not a point guard.
Not a
But
shooting guard.
what I loved about Marcus Smart, he was the heart and soul of that team, though. When he was there, you cannot deny that. Like, he was the guy that turned that. He's the reason why that season turned around in 22. Why you guys was able to go to the finals that year. He was
holding that told Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown starting like a bitch. I know.
Yeah, but I respect that. That's why I was saying what I was saying. And I'm still always say I didn't feel like he was the problem. I felt like Tatum and Brown just wasn't ready yet, right? Like it wasn't that Smart wasn't doing his job. For the most part, he was. Everybody
so you think we win if we keep Smart?
I think you can definitely win if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown played better. They were supposed to beat the
Now,
Warriors.
I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about we keep him going forward and we get back.
I'm telling you, in 22,
and we play in Dallas, and then we don't have Drew Holiday. And
if you got Kristaps Porzingis and
all we get Kristaps either with the money that we have to pay Smart.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I just feel like personally in 22, I know in my heart of hearts, I felt like the Celtics should have won that series.
100%. We don't feel like
Troy, let me not lie to you, Troy. I was saying it 1,000 times over that they should trade Jaylen Brown. I'd have been dead.
I know everybody was saying it. Everybody was saying it.
I'd have hugged him, got all of his belongings, put it in that bag. They get that net bag. I put my arm around him, walked him on to that black car, man. Hey man, we love you, man. You can come back here and finish your career, man. When you're 38, you can come back here, man. We'll give you one more go round. You know what I'm saying? You just come on back. I'd have been dead wrong. So I'm with you because I didn't think that those two could coexist. But I'm also a little bit closer to that situation. On knowing some of the ins and outs with those two players, I think that the relationship is not one that's necessarily it's not necessarily them that have a problem. What it is that it's their teams that have contention. You know, it's there was some contention that was being said about I just read that. Hey man, watch out, man. Watch out. I hear that too much. I hear that way too much. No, but when it comes to them, man, like they low key, they low key get along, but the relationship I think is not one where they about to be going out and getting pizza from Geno's. You know what I'm saying? Like they on some. It's just kind of what it is. But I think that they built a group, like again, they built that group in a way that it's just a strong group. Jason Tatum is light skinned, but he got some rough houses around him, and he from St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? So he got, you know what I'm saying. The element around him is tough. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck Brown, you're the man. Fuck Brown.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then you got another very strong minded. You know what I'm saying. Young dude, you know what I'm saying, young brother from Atlanta. And then he goes out to Cal. Cal is a very forward, or the Bay itself is very forward thinking. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that I know from the Bay is tough minded, brilliant one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? And look a tad bit dirty. They don't never really get all the way clean. They still look at.
Nigga, did you wash today?
No, it's not like that. But they be on some. You know what I'm saying? All of them, and they all like but they all very very genius. You know what I'm saying? It's like being from the West Side, like myself being from the West Side of Chicago. It's like they still got an element about them. No matter what they do in life, no matter how well they talk, you can always tell that they from the Bay Area. And he learned in that element by going to Cal, and now he in Boston. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I think that there's a both of those guys are very strong will. I just think that the group though, man, you know what I mean, that group is just so fucking good. Everybody talks about Oklahoma City, and I think Oklahoma City has a really good group. But I think when they bump into Boston, man, Chet can't do nothing with Porzingis, man. He can't do nothing with Porzingis, man. You know what I'm saying? Not if he's healthy.
And don't
And
let
low key,
Horford get mad.
that too. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that the matchups, are, like I think that they got enough. Derek White can guard. He can guard. Not to say that any. Hold on, let me make sure I say this the right way before somebody read this. Shea is unguardable. You know what I'm saying? By the fact that he's averaging 32 points a game. But the two guards that are in Boston are both second team all defensive players. Both of them can strap. You know what I'm saying? They'll do a better job on him than anybody else will. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll limit everybody else opportunities on the floor if it got that far. I'm showing my hand. I believe that Boston will get back, and I believe that Oklahoma City will go. But
Like that.
I would love to see that matchup. I just don't. I don't see anybody coming out of the West. I don't think that especially after that Luka trade, I don't think that anybody can beat Oklahoma City as currently constructed. I don't think that anybody can beat them coming out of the West.
So I got this other thing on my mind, right? And I know we talked about this on the podcast, but since Run here, I kind of want to get your opinion on this.
Mhm.
When we're talking about legacy, right? Now we all know KD legacy took a hit when he joined Golden State, right? We all know some people afford LeBron that same thing joining the Miami Heat, right? But my question is, do you feel like the other guys involved should take the same as the two guys, like LeBron going to the Heat, KD? So what I'm saying is, what type of hit does Steph take to his legacy for playing with a guy like KD because he made the phone call? And what type of hit does Wade take, if any, for playing with a guy like LeBron? In the scenarios of the way them two players got to the teams.
I don't low key. I don't think that either one of them take a hit to their career because they're not, in my opinion, they're not on the same level as the people that we're talking about. I don't look at Steph the same way that everybody else looks at Steph. I don't think D Wade from the crib and all of that, man. And I don't want to get myself in trouble with my people from home. But I don't look at him like that. I don't look at him like that either. I think that those guys. I think Steph is he's more part of a system than those guys are. Like that system. I was arguing with my partners about this last night, Troy. It's crazy that you even bringing this up. I was saying that the difference between Steph and other great players when you start trying to rank him all time is that everybody on the floor is screaming for him. KD is somebody that you just throw the ball to and say go. Mike was somebody that you just throw the ball to and say we need a basket. LeBron is somebody also that we just gave the ball to, man. We need a bucket, man. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, much the same. Wilt Chamberlain the same. Shaquille O'Neal the same. Kobe the same. Like they in the Larry Bird the same. Like we just gave them the ball. Even Magic Johnson to a certain degree. With Steph though, because of his size, he needs everybody else to help him get free. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron wasn't no free. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna hold. I just need to I got to figure out a way to get to the ball. So I'm saying that to say that the people that love Steph love him because he's probably their height, their size. He's the kid next door. He's more realistic of a person to look at. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see LeBron walking down the street every day. But if we go to any one of our neighborhoods growing up, we'll see Steph 25 times over. You know what I'm saying? Walking around. You know what I'm saying? 6'2", 6'3", 6'1", you know what I'm saying? D Wade, man, I just ain't going, man. I love D Wade, but it's just not I could think of multiple two guards that are better than him. But I also respect
what I'm
his
saying is, so you don't think Wade legacy takes a hit at all for recruiting a guy like LeBron, and Steph legacy doesn't take a hit at all recruiting a guy like KD?
No, I don't, because they didn't lead. Well, the first thing is they didn't lead their situations. Them dudes can't. So like a real one, it's like, no, you come play with me. You know what I'm saying? Not me come play with you. Like if Hakeem Olajuwon leaves Houston and goes to Portland, he looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that Clyde Drexler came and played with him and won a chip with him, it solidifies. We almost forget that Clyde Drexler won a championship down there in Houston. You know what I'm saying? But we always talk about Hakeem. So I think that there's them dudes didn't leave they spot. They, you know what I'm saying? It was still their mob. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I think that was for me. I don't think it hurts them at all. But I also don't see them. I'm not having conversations with basketball
Yeah, I
minds
get
and
you.
basketball people about how, Steph being on the same level as LeBron. The only people that had those conversations are the people that you know what I'm saying, like I low key to all my partners that live in the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? My man Left and Mo-
My
Lock and all the
partner moved.
rest of them. Yeah. I keep hey Moo, I got at least 6 partners up there. Um Left is my man. I'm sure you know Left the rapper. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? And a couple of the others, man. That I be hassling with them on the phone. But those are the only ones that really be saying that. G. You know what I'm saying? I don't really I don't even dignify that conversation when it comes to Steph and his legacy, because I think that he cemented himself. He like 23rd or something like that in scoring all time. He is like, I don't know where he is on the assist list. The only records that he holds are,
3 point.
the 3-point record. You know what I'm saying? And the championships, if he wins another, that'd be great. You know what I mean? Like I think that would help his legacy. But
Who I
that's my
can see you dying to say something?
I mean, me personally, right? I guess for me, I criticize both. I criticize both, well, all parties, right? When D Wade and LeBron joined teams, I hated it because in hindsight, I know D Wade is not the caliber of player LeBron is, right? But in that moment in time, I thought he was. And call me foolish, but like at that time, I thought Kobe was here and Wade and LeBron was like right here. You know what I mean? Like at that time when they joined forces. So, and then Wade having already won and established himself as a championship caliber player, I just felt like, because I'm a historian of the game, like I just felt like we was robbed. Like when I think of, people can say what they want about Jordan's career, but he played the pantheons of his era. Played them.
Mm-hmm.
He played them.
That's fair.
He played Bird. He played Isaiah. He played Magic. D Wade and LeBron never played each other like in their primes. Like what? I felt robbed. Now y'all on the same team. Yeah, y'all better win. Y'all better win. Y'all better win. That's just how I felt. Like y'all better win. I don't care what happens. Like I don't care how y'all do it. Y'all better win. And then to see it unfold the way it unfolded in 2011, like both of y'all got to take a hit. Even though D Wade performed, you allow this great pantheon to come to your castle, and y'all don't win. And the sad part about it to me, Rand, D Wade takes a hit, right? Not for me, like the way people do him.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about D Wade as if his career started in 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Because he played with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about, all they talk about is he wasn't the same after 2011. Like them first 8 years never mattered. Like they didn't count.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Like he don't take that same type of hit from me. But I think overall, when you talk to fans, he takes that hit from people. And I don't think that's fair because he done established himself. And to me, no matter what, he had to sacrifice a lot of his game to play with LeBron, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He still was a very good number 2.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that he was like the first dude that I saw that was like 6'3" that was legit playing like he was 6'8". You know what I'm saying? Like he was, man, like the first 6 years of his career were insane for a dude that's only 6'3", 6 foot.
He high on the list of blocks for a shooting guard?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Defensively,
it was like, man, that dude was crazy, man.
I
Crazy in a
just
lot of ways.
I just think I had to hold him to that, you know what I'm saying, that little fire a little bit, you know what I mean? But I started to back off him again because I'm looking at his performances still as a number 2 on back-to-back titles. It still was productive. It was, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
all NBA-ish. So I had a problem with that. Now, the thing with the KD and Steph thing is, again, like, I'm looking at you two guys. Like, even though I got LeBron here, you guys are right there. Y'all team up together.
Yeah.
Now, y'all gave us the little one matchup, and then it's the way that shit went down. Y'all play a game 7, y'all don't even want to run it back. Fuck it. We just from the team up. Like, y'all have to take a hit for this for me. I'm sorry. It's too, I don't even know, like, even though I'm watching the Warriors still play basketball like the Warriors play basketball, they just got Kevin Durant now. So I don't know if Kevin Durant is really impacting the team, because I still think this Warriors team could have made it to the finals without him. Like, if they kept Harrison Barnes, I don't know what. All I know is that, Steph, this was your team. You allowed Kevin Durant to come here. He winds up outshining you.
Mm-hmm.
Basically back-to-back playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's your fault, Stephen Curry. Like, and Kevin Durant, you went to that man's team who was an established champion, an established MVP. What do you think people are going to say? To me, I think KD, his legacy is judged a little bit unfair, but I still think he asked for it. That's my problem. Like, he asked for it. He went and did it. Nobody made him do it. You did this to yourself. Nobody did this to you. You did it. You was in control of your legacy, because I think a lot of times you might have been more respected if you just rolled it out in OKC with Westbrook. Might have been more respect. Maybe people just kill Westbrook like they doing now anyway, right? They just kill Westbrook like he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a turnover legend. They're gonna kill Westbrook anyway. So maybe you could have just rolled that bullet.
It's crazy how much changes though if KD does stay. Westbrook never averages those triple doubles.
You're probably right about that for sure.
His hit, like, we're talking about legacy.
I think he might.
I don't think so. KD not giving him the range to.
I think he does. I think that was part of the problem.
It's still possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I just think, because you got to remember, I don't know if you might have a little bit more information than me, Ron, but there was a little who's the man on that team going on. So, and we all knew KD was the man, but Westbrook felt like he was the man. So that's a conflict of interest. So I also take that for me into consideration when I'm thinking about KD leaving that team. I understand where he went isn't the sexy look, right, for everybody. Oh man, you just took the hottest girl in the joint and then that's it. You didn't try. Like, but at the end of the day, for me running, I tell these guys this all the time. As long as your contract up, bro, you go wherever you want.
No, you
ain't got no contract. What I don't like is axing out your contract and then going to play with a guy like KD and Kyrie on the Nets. Like,
I'm in the mindset, Troy, of you can do whatever you want to do, but you better be able to live with how it looks. You got to live with the consequences. So if
I'll back you on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to live your life the way you want to live it. I mean, you got one of them to live. When it's over, it's over. You know what I'm saying? When it's over, it's over. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, you got to also give people the latitude and the leeway to be able to judge you, because you're in competition. Like, you play a sport, you play basketball. It's a stage, it's a spectacle. It's like being in the Roman Coliseum. Like, everybody's peering down on you. Now, it's cool when everybody giving you the proverbial jerk off and loving you and hugging you and telling you that you're great. You got to be able to take when a motherfucker say, "Man, you suck. You some bullshit. That was a whole move that you pulled." You got to be able to take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can't be all flowers, man. You know, this space that he and LeBron are in right now by telling, like, people in the media what they can and cannot say. You know what I'm saying? Man, you
Yeah, it's
gotta
so crazy.
no, your son ain't good. Period. And he there because of you.
Yo,
You know what I'm
chill,
saying?
run. He gonna approach you at the next
No,
Euro game, run.
man.
He gonna be
No.
at the Euro game, like said no motherfucking word about my son.
Hey man, no, that's just what it is. Like you can't you grabbed your son and you walked him through every door.
Prom
That
walk
now
his ass.
so ain't nothing wrong with doing that. Just know that we know. And he not that goddamn good. You know what I'm saying? Like he's okay.
MJ
He
didn't do
will
that to his
improve
kids.
because he gonna improve because he's in that space where people are working with him on a daily basis. But you talking about a 6'1" nothing that can't do nothing, no position on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this the truth.
Come
It's the
on,
truth.
this is
You know
what I'm
what I mean?
talking
So
about.
so
Nothing.
back to my point though, like it's hard, man. It's hard to be on that type of time where you don't want nobody to tell you what God love. And the God what God love is the truth. LeBron, you are one of the greatest players to ever play, a top 5 player all time. Now, if that makes your heart flutter, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to take, but you refuse to take big shots. You kill every point guard that you play with. And your son's still sorry. You got to be able to take all of that. You
He
know what I'm
went
saying?
back.
You just think
He
you
just
can't
went
just
back.
you know what I'm saying? I had to hey Troy, I had to
He said, I'm just gonna come back to
I just go,
it. What you
you know what
talking
I'm saying? We can't you know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about high level competition here. We're
about?
trying to split hairs. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to take the good with the bad. So your decisions are not gonna end with everybody saying, yo, I mean, even with us in our personal lives, man, we, you know what I'm saying, we ain't always made the right choice. You know what I'm saying? It's a girl somewhere that we didn't scarred. It's a girl that scarred us somewhere.
It's a
You
girl
know what I'm
somewhere I'm
saying?
looking for. No creepy shit. I'm trying to run into her again and blend our lives together, man. I feel
You
you on that.
dig? You dig? So man, all I'm saying is that dog, man, them dudes gotta, yeah, you do whatever you want. But man, don't be creating burner accounts talking about, but KD said, you know, no, man, don't be third person in yourself, man. Get
But
out of
you,
here, man. That's
KD.
weird. Yeah, exactly.
But you,
You know what I'm
KD.
saying? But you KD. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't going.
Hey,
I ain't
when you
going.
say you know my name, I'm Kevin Durant. Like, bro, just be Kevin Durant, bro.
Just be Kevin Durant.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
damn.
but I think he didn't know what the backlash is gonna be. So he was just like, no burner account. Nigga. He ain't gonna know it's me. But now, I do agree that your decisions have consequences. Do what you want.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. So everything I've ever said about James Harden is justified. I don't want to hear nothing, boo. I'm gonna end it on that because he got to do what he wanted. And now he got to take the fucking, the criticism. That's it. Nigga on team hop and ask out every contract he get. Like now he got to take those consequences. We'll go to strip club, slap on white man. You got to take those consequences. You feel me?
Listen, he finna technically only asked out of 2 contracts, and it's gonna be the same amount of
17.
contracts once Kevin Durant acts out of this Phoenix contract.
He didn't ask out.
He's fin to.
When it happens, it happens.
Yeah. Like it is what it is. It is
Oh
what it is.
man.
That's why LeBron don't ask out. No matter what happens, LeBron will not ask out. He will finish that contract. But now I just respect guys a little bit more when they finish the contract. They agreed to. You agree to play for a team this many years for this amount of money. You play for that team for this many years, amount of money. Don't resign, nigga. When that shit up, get up out of there.
Somebody should have told Ben Simmons that very same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody and their mama knew that he wanted to play on the West Coast. Everybody knew that he wanted to get back to the West Coast, but he signed the extension based on what Clutch was telling him because it was the max. He felt like he was going to be able to get out of there. As soon as somebody gave him a little pushback on the fact that he didn't want to shoot a jump shot, now all of a sudden he in his feelings and he don't want to go back. Nah, man, nah. It can't be, you know what I'm saying? You can't be the number 1 player in the country in high school, get to LSU, get in a situation where they tell you to go to class, you don't go to class, and then they tell you, man, you got to sit out a half, and then you quit on that team. You get to the NBA, you get to the league, you quit on that team. They trade you to Brooklyn. They buy you out with I don't know, a year left, 2 years left on that deal. and now he's with the Clippers.
Clippers.
I'm peeking over my shoulder right now, and he had zero effect on the basketball game. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm just a guy.
You know,
Just a guy.
I'm just
a
here.
guy.
The man got braids and shit now. Like I don't know who the fuck this
The
dude
man got money and shit. That's what he's a luau dang, bro. Mr. Money
That's all he
Bag,
wanted.
bro.
Yeah, man, that's all he wanted. He wanted the money. But when it's time to go on rodeo, don't nobody do that better than him. When it's time to go to the dealership, don't nobody do it better than him. Boy, he looked like a ball player.
Call Mad Dog.
Oh man,
call him Mad Dog, my back again. Need another surgery. I want to lay on the couch. You know what I'm saying? I want to kick my feet out. I don't want to play no basketball. They're gonna take my money. All right, I play 2 games. Like, what do you mean? They're gonna take my money? I play 2 games.
So no,
all right, so I'm gonna end it here. Run. It was fun having you. If you we'll hope to have you back next week because I'll give you little peeks. I said throughout the playoffs we're gonna be having different conversations about legacy, right? So we had a open conversation. Next week, I want to talk coaching's legacy, then and now, because I think there's a big difference the way coaches' legacies are built back in the day to where they are built now, because a coach could win Coach of the Year and get fired the next year. You feel me?
Championship next year.
But final thoughts, Mooch.
Hey, you know what it is. Great show. Rand, appreciate you for sliding through. Anytime you want to pull up, you know it's all good. Make sure y'all tune in to the rest of the shows throughout the rest of the week. Gentlemen's Talk on Wednesday. They got a big show for you. PVT, you already know what it is. The show after Mania. Tap in on Thursdays. And then we talking at Ish. Right back at you on Fridays. We're gonna see
That's right. Boo-up, you gotta wait. Run, I'm Rand. You got any last words?
Yeah. Shout out to you guys for having me on. Make sure you guys check out the Run Daily. We do a show every morning on X from 10 Eastern to noon every day. Follow me at Mogul Rand on everything basically, and also follow the Run Sports where we write, talk, all basketball related stuff from retailing products to storylines and things of that nature.
That's right. Go follow. Go support your black brothers out here. Boo, final thoughts.
Man, shout out to my big bro Rand. You already know, bro. You're anytime, and you know I'm gonna definitely try to pop in tomorrow and get my takes on some things. But you already know, man. I'll see y'all Monday.
How about